What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Zero Designs here, and today we're making another tutorial on all the deformers, and the next one in the list is the melt deformer. So let's just get that in our scene. So as you can see, we have a couple of attributes here, and I'll just explain them. So the strength is pretty much put it on 0, and it's just a static object, and 100 is the animation is done, and it's kind of a pool, and it's fully melted. So the radius is pretty much everything outside of the radius gets melted slower. So if you put this up and your object is small, it's gonna go slow. So the vertical randomness is just a randomness in a vertical direction, and the radial randomness is the randomness in as it kind of expands, and then it gets kind of more random. The melted size is pretty much if you melt an object and you want it to be the same size, like the melted pool has the same amount of kind of, how do you say that, the same amount of like particles in that, if you kind of understand me. You put it at 100, so most of the times, kind of, if you melt an ice cube, you get a little bit more water. So let's say you melt an ice cube and you put it back into kind of a cube-shaped object. The water inside the same kind of the same size cube, you will still save some water if you put it on a higher amount. So if you put it on 100, it will be kind of the same amount. So let's just keep that on 400 for now. The noise scale just pretty much adds a little bit of noise. So let's just start by using this thing actually. So there we go. We've put the melt on 0, as you can see. And if we kind of make the radius up, I'm not sure what's happened. Let me just get rid of that melt and bring in another one, because I might have fucked up some settings. So there we go, 25, and there you have it. Oh, there we go. The kind of the shape has to be below our object, so let's just keep that exactly right there, and that's kind of where the object is gonna kind of float down into a puddle. And if you put a little bit of more noise in there, that might look a bit cooler, but still it's not really nice. So let's just add a couple of segments. And as you can see, the segments are getting distorted. So these are kind of a lot of segments. So let's just, so as you can see, this is kind of not the effect you want to go for, because it's kind of too much maybe. And one tip you can do if you want to create some kind of C, you can just keyframe the noise scale, and at the end keyframe it on something else, something a bit more maybe, or something a bit less. So then you have like kind of a wavy animation while the kind of the strength is animated. So let's just put the strength on 0, and at the end put it on 100. So let's see what happens now. You kind of get this effect. So let's just keyframe that by I keyframe this by pressing Control and clicking kind of the circular sphere next to it. So as you can see, it's kind of splashing, and something well, doesn't look too realistic. So in post you might be able to kind of fix this, but I'm not sure. If you really want to create something realistic, like a melt, realistic melt, I highly suggest you to download RealFlow. As you can see over here, I have the program already. It's just a better liquid creator, as it kind of creates liquid from particles, and this creates a liquid from a static object. So, but you might want to get something realistic if you kind of play enough with this kind of effect. You might just get something that looks the way you'd like it, and maybe you just want some kind of a mountainscape. You could create it like this and just keep kind of the strength on this one. But then again, you have the landscape object, which looks realistic, more realistic. But you can, I'd reckon you can kind of create something that looks a little bit like a sea or something out of this. I mean, it doesn't look great, but you need to kind of maybe go for some type of low poly look. This might be good for you. So that will wrap up this tutorial, and now we have a correction one coming up, which is really nice, but gets looked over. So I'll see you guys soon. Peace.